Okay, so now I got to do my spiel. Welcome to 2025, 2026, the Skin Games Judges Panel Discussion Series. I'm very excited to get started this year with these discussions. Last year, they were a really great hit. Our community got to know our judges a little bit more. They got to share their expertise. They were able to really immerse themselves into what it is to be part of the Skin Games. And I'm very excited that we have return judges, but we have a 50-50%. We have 50% returning and 50% brand new judges this year for the Skin Games.
Wow.
And I think that we've got a great panel, international panel as well this year. We have, I think, 8 judges coming from across the pond, UK, Finland, and Canada, I think. Well, Canada's not across the pond.
Nice.
I know my geography, guys. I know where we're supposed to be. But yes, we are here tonight to discuss all things acne and age management. The one thing that we aren't going to hit on is judging criteria. You can ask the judges anything you want. You just can't ask them anything about their scoring or anything like that. We don't want any unfair advantages or anything. They don't really even have access to your case studies yet or the scoring form, so they wouldn't be of any help to you anyway. So we're going to get started tonight with acne. We do have 2 judges here. I know Nichelle wanted to be here for age management, but her mother's not feeling well, and one of our acne judges is international, so she'll be on that international panel that will be on, I believe it's February 23rd, February 23rd, and that's at 11 a.m. It's still on a Monday, just to keep in time with the same date. So Angela will be there for that. So without any further ado, I am going to hand the introductions over to our judges on our acne panel. We have David Valance. I'm going to let you say your last name because I'm going to butcher it. And Aisha Wetburn. So we're going to start with you, David. Let's introduce yourself. Really tell us your name, where you're located, why you chose the beauty industry as your profession, and what your primary specialty and focus is.
Yes, I love that. Well, thank you guys for everyone that's attending. I see all your lovely faces. I probably know some of you. You might know me from, I've been in the industry for you guys 30 years.
Oh, wow.
30 years. So I started actually in October 1995. So my name is David Valenzuela. I'm currently the founder and CEO of a brand called Wish Skin Health. Wish stands for Wisdom Inspired Skin Health. We are focused on acne primarily through healthy barrier function. You have to have a healthy barrier in order to have healthy microbiome function. Through that process, you get clear skin. We are based in Palm Springs, California. Kelly and I were just chatting about Coachella, all those fun things. I will tell you, Kelly, that the reason that I'm in this industry was sort of by happenstance. I got recruited to work for this little known brand at the time called Aveda.
Mhm.
And that was the first decade of my career where, so this tells you how old we are because there's no social media back then, right? We barely even had freaking cell phones. We got a box every week. And that is where, so Aveda trained us. We had to learn hair color, perms. Now I know perms are coming back, but just remember you guys in the 90s perms. Um, all things to do with aesthetics. So we had Aveda specific lymphatic massage, facials. We didn't have, when I look at it now and I could look back, we didn't have that many products. But I can tell you out of the products we had, we created a lot of magic. So learning how to train someone how to do a Vichy. I don't know if anyone has Vichy showers anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but that was the whole thing. So that was the first decade. I worked with Ray and Jane at Dermalogica for 7 years. I worked for a brand called Cosmetics. It's based in Atlanta. That's where I got the global VP, traveled around the world with all things aesthetics. My last job I say job because I still have a job. It's just me in my own job, was as a CEO for Face Reality. So I've been doing nothing but acne
Mhm.
since 2017, which led me to launch the brand in 2021 with 4 products. We now have 23 products. We're going to launch 3 new products this year, and we are focused on nothing but acne.
Oh, I love it. And acne
Yeah.
is it's a huge, it's what got me into the industry was suffering from acne and never had before. Had a kid and was in my 20s and boom, acne everywhere. And I thought, what am I going to do? I don't know. I don't know how to take care of this. And my hairstylist said, go to our esthetician. And I said, you're what? I didn't even know what an esthetician was. I had never heard of a facial, nothing. And she got my skin clear. And that's how that springboarded me into this industry because it has everything, right? You get to help people, right? We have that customer service interaction thing.
Mhm.
You get to use your scientific brain because we have, anatomy and physiology, and then you have chemistry, and then you have all the other things that you have to do, run your business, social media, all that kind of fun stuff. I'm not far behind you. I am starting my 26th year this year.
Wow.
I mean, where does the time go?
We
Like
look
it's
so good
crazy.
though, right?
I mean,
You
I would say
do?
being in the industry, having access to products like this for this amount of time, like, is definitely helped. But I remember launching, like, we launched a product called Light Protection and it was SPF 12. Can you imagine today launching an SPF 12? Like, what is the point? Like, what are we even doing? Like SPF
Yep.
12. But I see Jamie saying, I always wanted a Vichy shower. I will tell you that the cost associated with having a Vichy shower, the water tanks, the full room build out, the tile, the
Mhm.
drains in the floors, there was only resort spas that I could ever make that a profitable venture. But I get it. It's a great treatment to have if you're ever in Minneapolis. Go to the Aveda Institute and get a Vichy shower treatment by one of the students. It will change your life.
Your life. Yep. I worked for a spa
Yes.
that had one. So Aisha, introduce yourself, where your name, your business name, where you're located, what brought you to the beauty industry, and your primary specialty and focus now.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for having me here tonight. And David, I'm so excited to meet you in person in Dallas. And I love how you contribute to the industry. My name is Aisha Wetburn. I'm the owner and the founder of Sparkle and Shine Skincare. And our motto is we bring out that inner shine that you've always had within. I'm also known as your Esty Auntie. You've also probably saw me or seen my face on the front cover of Dermoscope magazine, edition 2022 December. Um, I am located currently in New Jersey, but I was based out of Arizona. I'm kind of bi-coastal. I'm kind of doing more behind the scenes. I also do mentoring. I do consulting. I consult with med spas, kind of help their estheticians, guide them, let show their nurses, educate their nurses on the fundamentals of skincare. Because sometimes they don't know everything in the industry as far as skincare. So that's where I come in and kind of nurture them. I've been in the industry for since 2014. And here I am. I'm so excited to be a part of the Skin Games. I came in this industry because I started off as a makeup artist.
Oh, okay.
And I said, there's something deeper than this. There's something deeper than just makeup. Putting the makeup on is great, but we have to take care of what's underneath. And when I came in this industry, I came in this industry with intention. It wasn't something that was popular. It was something that was embedded inside of me that I had to help people. Because as a makeup artist, I would do makeup on these young ladies and gentlemen, because I did makeup for both women and men. And I'll tell you, their skin underneath was not healthy. So I said, I have to help. I have to educate myself. I have to further my education in my career and become more than just a makeup artist. So at age 40, I went to aesthetic school. So this whole situation about being an SC auntie, I was always an auntie. Even in school, I was older than the students. So they would look to me for guidance, for advice. And I just embraced that SC auntie, and I carry that name with me because it's not only SC auntie for my clients, but for other estheticians, mentoring them in this industry. Because sometime in this industry, when I came into it in 2013, there wasn't a lot of mentors. So I had to find out a lot of things through trial and error, right? And I don't want other estheticians to go through what I went through, spending money on things that I shouldn't have. I need to educate other estheticians on the importance of furthering their education. Education is so key. You can't just, float along and think that it's all about the money. You have to dive in, get your education, and also help your client. Have the intention of doing the research and education with helping your client. So that's where I'm at. I love this industry. I love what I do, and I'm grateful to be here.
Oh, well, we love having you here. You've been a great addition so far, and I'm really honored that David decided to become a returning judge when your application came through. I did do a little dance. I'm not going to lie. I did a little happy dance that you decided to come back because it validates the work that we do when we have people come back year after year in different capacities, whatever it is. They start as players. I started as a player, and then they work into volunteering. I know we have, I think Jamie's here, and she started the sugaring category, and then she stepped back and she competed as a player in the skin category one year, and then she stepped back again, and she was helping with more of the logistics side of the skin games last year, and this year she's a player again, so in skin, and her whole focus for most of her career has been sugar. And I'm sharing your story. Sorry, Jamie, I'm airing all your laundry today. But it is just one of those things when you come back, you become part of this family and this tribe. And it helps us make our industry better. So I want to switch to a little bit of more category specific. You both are judging acne. Why are you passionate about this category? Well, David, you have a whole business around it. So I can't wait to hear this answer. And then how does your background, because you shared a little bit about how you started, where you've been, and how does your background inform your approach to acne specifically? Whoever wants to take that one first. David, I guess we'll start with you since we started with you first, and then we'll go to Aisha. You can answer.
Okay, I love that. So I think there's a couple of things. Acne, out of all the things that I've seen in my career, so all of these years, which were primarily focused on quote unquote anti-aging, I say healthy aging now, the acne space was sort of the two things. It's the number one skin condition in the United States, but it's one of the most undereducated aspects of professional aesthetics.
Absolutely.
So when I look at the where the opportunity was for the industry, education, products, obviously teaching. I love that you said mentoring, Aisha, because the industry needs mentors, of course, but also the just providing a foundation from a business perspective. Whenever I go and speak at a school, I always ask the students, "What do you want to do when you graduate?" And depending on the school, people look at me like, "Oh my God, I haven't even thought about that." I'm like, "Do you want to work in a med spa? Do you want to work on a cruise ship? Are you going to da da da? Do you want to work in a what do you want to do?" And then when I start presenting the idea of acne, the instructor's like, "Oh, David, we don't have that much time to go in depth in acne." And I'm like, "This is the opportunity." So the reason I love the skin games for this category, it's bringing a lot of talent, and it's bringing a lot of knowledge. It's bringing a lot of different perspectives and how to effectively clear acne. The other thing that's highlighting that is kind of it's sort of hysterical but sort of not is the lack of education and how many differing opinions there are all across the board. Where most of us are in different aesthetic groups. somebody will post a picture and there's like 300 different responses for how to treat acne. And I'm like, well, that's actually a staph infection. So we'll stop there. But this is where this is such an impactful event because it's bringing people from around the world and people get to show their craft and like what they do really, really well. And the players that I think the one of the aspects from last year was the face to face, getting to sit down with the players, have a conversation, talk about their cases. Like that was so impactful because at the end of the day, we're all learning. I'm learning about different methodologies. Students, players are learning different methodologies, and we're seeing different perspectives. And I love that. I love there's learning is never going to end in this industry, and this is a huge learning platform. As much as it is fun, we get to drink wine together, we get to hang out, but it's bringing forth the skill set, and everybody walks away knowing something that they didn't know when they started. That's what I love.
All
You get to
right.
follow that one up, Aisha. I don't know. I think that's a mic drop moment.
Yes, that's definitely a mic drop, which I love it. And I appreciate that. And everything he said, David said, was absolutely accurate. And for me, with the skin games, it's also just basically becoming face to face with a lot of estheticians that I know and some that I don't know. It's connecting. It's all connecting. You know, you're connecting with other vendors, with other skincare lines, you're connecting with other educators, you're connecting with new estheticians, older estheticians. That's the whole entire purpose, is connecting, right? Connecting and networking, and like what David said, learning from each other, because there's things that I think I know, but going to the skin games, I'm going to learn even more. And not only that, it's just empowering other individuals in our industry, empowering them, educating them, inspiring them, encouraging them. That's what's for me. Me being a judge, I'm not like looking down on them like, the peasants. You know, no, that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to just give my professional insight as being an esthetician since 2013. I know a little something. And according to my skin transformations, which I have proof, that's what I'm known for. I'm known for transforming lives. I'm known for taking someone's skin and transforming it into creating a happy barrier for their skin. And I did that by intention. I did that by educating myself and educating my client. Because sometimes you can be the most educated esthetician, but if you don't educate your client, it's not going to work. That's just my philosophy. You have to also educate your client. You have to share with your client a lot of things that you know to help them with the results at home. So with that being said, I am just really excited to just come to the skin games and network with not only the players, but network with other judges and network with other estheticians, to see how not only I can grow, but to help other individuals grow in the industry as well.
Yes. And I think that's one of the things that makes the event as unique as it is we are focused on the professional.
Yes.
A lot of conferences and trade shows they're necessary because of their structure is a little bit different. It's more come and see what all the vendors have to offer. And what we're saying is come and see what the professionals who do the work in the treatment room have to offer. On top of, we do have select vendors that come in, and we do have education. We have all of those other things available, but it's really by estheticians for estheticians. Jennifer, yes, who is our founder, is an esthetician. Her daughter, who is our player liaison, is an esthetician. First, we are all estheticians first. Stephen, who does our emceeing and our sales, and Jennifer's right hand person, he's an esthetician by association because he's married to Taylor, and Jennifer is his mother-in-law. So I'm an esthetician for 26 years. Everyone who has an impact or a part of the Skin Games, we've been in the industry, and we know what we need as estheticians at a professional event. And I think the Skin Games has done a really good job doing that for us. And that's part of what drew me to the Skin Games initially. Was one of my mentors. I think you met her last year, Lynn Ross. David, you judged with her. I don't know if you've met Lynn Ross. She's been in the industry for almost 50 years at this point, and she's one of the industry's original OGs. Like, she had license. I think she is the first aesthetic license in Georgia, I believe. I could be wrong.
Wow.
But she basically tagged me on a post, and I called her and said, "Why did you do that?" She said, "Because I want you to do this. I want you to compete." And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up doing that in 2019 to 2020. It was a little bit delayed because we had, this little thing come around and kind of interrupt the whole world for a few minutes. So, but from there, I ran into Jennifer at the end of that live event, was in Palm Springs, and told her I want to judge next year. And she said, okay. And it's just evolved into me now. I jokingly say I judge the judges, but I coordinate the scoring process and the judging process across the entire competition. It's grown into a very huge project. So the Skin Games can impact and change your career in ways that you're not expecting. And it can allow you to form lifelong relationships that are not just professional, but they're personal. You have friends, you get to know people. When did you find out about the Skin Games? When and finding out, because neither one of you have played yet, but maybe one day, maybe, I don't know. You have to think about it. But what drew you to the Skin Games when you first found out about it? And what does being part of the judging team mean to you? You've touched on a little bit of the networking, the community, those types of things. But what for you personally does this mean?
I'll go first. For me personally, what this means is it's bigger than me. It's bigger than what I know. It's bigger than my accomplishments. What it is just me sharing the knowledge and sharing my leadership with others, whether it be another judge, whether it be someone that's competing. That's what it means to me. And I first found out about the Skin Games. I saw it on social media. This was years ago. And when I went to Mecca, I don't know if you're familiar with Mecca.
But if you forgot and you didn't put it down, it's not going to affect the results of the field.
I went to Mecca. A shout out to Moto. He is he's the founder of Mecca, which is based in Arizona. And I saw the Skin Games there, and I said, oh, wow, the Skin Games is a real thing. And I got a chance to have a conversation with Stephen, and I got a chance to meet Jennifer. And I just really was inspired with their story. And I was inspired with what they want to do for the aesthetic industry. And that's what I'm about. I'm about helping. I'm about mentoring. I'm about connecting. I'm all about community. So that's what inspired me to gravitate to the Skin Games. I love their whole brand and what they stand for and what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. David?
I love it. So I actually attended in 2017 when it was in the Bay Area.
Okay.
So that was my introduction. And then I would love it if it could be in Palm Springs again, so I don't have to get on an airplane. That would be very amazing. I'm totally open to that. We have big hotels here. I think the knowledge, imparting knowledge is amazing. And I think those that came before us in this industry, me being exposed to really, really great mentors and having the opportunity to learn from really amazing people and being able to impart knowledge, helping people with their careers, I think we underplay the value of community and this bringing people together where, most everyone's living in their treatment room all day, every day, not getting to talk to anybody else and getting to interact with your peers. That's such a huge piece, but also just being able to, there's nothing, I know there's competitions that happen at trade shows and stuff, but there's not an event that's focused on showcasing excellence. And
Mhm.
that's really what happens at the skin games. People really, it's not, as I learned last year, it is not an easy situation. Like you really have to put time, effort, money into participating, getting
Mhm.
to wherever the event is and showcasing your skill set. So I love that because it's bringing out excellence. So that's my jam as to why I love being a part of it.
Okay, okay. What do you hope to bring to the players?
Mm. A little bit of so if I can give anybody just a little tiny bit of enthusiasm, showcase opportunity. I know the world is weird with what's going on in the news and what's happening. Like, I get it. The world is weird. I've seen, so once we've been around for this amount of time and you've gone through election cycles, the economy up and down, we're in a recession, we're out of recession. I have seen people survive and thrive in all economic climates.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm here to share with people. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. You can have a sustainable business. It is going to be empowered through education. So if I give anybody anything, learning never ends. It's education. You will see it through.
Perfect. Aisha?
One thing I would like to give is I would like to give support. I
Okay.
would like to give love. I would like to give something inspiring that I know that I've been through. As I mentioned before, I'm big on helping other estheticians not go through what I went through, like overspending on modalities that I really didn't need, or just
Mhm.
basically giving them knowledge that will help them and inspire them to grow their business to a bigger expansion, and also give them some constructive feedback
Mhm.
and connecting. That's that's exactly what my purpose is, and to meet some new estheticians and people in our industry.
You'll definitely do that. You will
Yes,
absolutely do that.
yes.
So then to piggy on that, what do you want to learn from the event? So we know what you're going to bring. What do you want to learn
I want
from
to
it?
learn to be a better mentor. I want to learn something from the industry, maybe learn a new skill that I can aspire to, or also learn something about new products that's coming out, and
Perfect.
learn how to be a better judge for next year, for
I
2027.
like that. She's in. All right, David, what about you? What do you hope to learn from the event this year?
So I think that your finger is on the pulse when you are in the mix of what's actually happening in the industry. Working in an office building somewhere removed from the situation does not give you what you need to be on the leading edge of what's going on in aesthetics. And hearing the dialogue about what people have been exposed to, what they've been educated in, what they have questions on, or that there's some misinformation going around about an ingredient or a topic. I learned something from the interaction with players last year. I learned a lot.
Yeah. Oh, good, good, good. I think that's important. That and that's actually a unique situation where you get to talk to people who are working in treatment rooms all day every day. You get to hear their challenges, you get to hear their frustrations, you get to hear their wins, you get to find out so much more, and that in turn just makes you a better product formulator. It will make you a better educator, all those lovely things. So I want to shift and talk about trends, specifically trends on acne, since you guys are judging since you all are judging acne, what trends are you paying attention to? Ingredients, you can talk about ingredients, modalities, shifts in client needs and their expectations. I think that's a big one. It's pretty broad. And maybe any global trends that you're seeing. David, you're thinking about doing, or you're planning a thing out of the country, so you can speak to that as well. So what trends are you paying attention to?
I love it. So you know what? I also the trend thing. So it's probably one of the things that I try not to pay attention to because trends come and go. Obviously, there is. So I will be finishing actually in September my cosmetic chemistry degree. So I'm actively always learning. Like there's no shortage. There's always something to learn. I will tell you that the methodology around treating acne, a thorough understanding of the microbiome, and the ecosystem that lives on the skin, and ingredients that support the healthy environment for how the skin can actually repair itself. Those are things I pay attention to. I think the trend thing, I think I talked about this last year, Kelly, but the trends when I worked with Dermalogica, Ray and Jane were so anti-trend because, like I said, the trends, they come and they go, they come and they go. And we were really stable in our offering and what we offered. And with acne, we know that it's about consistency and we don't want to jump around. I know some of the things that I was looking at when we were reviewing cases last year, there was a lot of, there were some inconsistencies with how people were, what their approach was. They were unsure, they were changing their mind or switching or trying this or trying. And that's something that you can't do with acne. You have to be consistent and you've got to be knowledgeable. So the trend aspect, there's new ingredients the first 30, 45 minutes of every day. I'm looking at, excuse me, ingredient technologies and then seeing like, what has efficacy behind it? Is there any data behind this, or is it just the shiniest, newest peptide that's being kicked out to the industry? I stay away from that, but that's what I'm paying attention to.
Nice. Any trends for you, Aisha?
Trends that brings to my attention is the social media influencer, non-licensed influencers that's giving the public advice, like beef tallow, for example, or these trends of, hey, you need to slough your face with like flour every night. Those are the type of trends that I pay attention to, because when it comes down to it in the treatment room, it's important that you educate your clients about, the logistics of the trends. Like, you have to educate your clients, because sometimes my clients will come in and they'll tell me, hey, am I supposed to do XYZ every night? And I'm like, where'd you get that from? They're like, oh, I got it from TikTok. And I'm like, then I have to go and educate them about not following what they see on social media. And what they need to do is make sure that they're consulting with a dermatologist or a licensed professional. Also, though, the home care chemical peels and the evasive treatments that's done at home, those are the type of trends that it's important that I get to know them, and then I educate my clients on, the do's and the don'ts, which is pretty much very important. So those are the type of trends that I tend to pay attention to.
Okay. All right. And then last two questions. I shall let you go ahead and close out. So we'll go back to David. What's your favorite success advice for professionals? And do that last, do the success advice last. And then what myth about acne do you want to correct?
Ooh, okay. Love this question. Love.
Loaded.
So
it's a loaded question.
it's loaded. So I say my favorite thing to say at Wish is one size fits one. And everybody, we're all individual human beings. Your skin is like your fingerprint. It is unique to you. Your ecosystem on your skin and in your gut, your microbiome is unique to you. So what worked for this client might not work for this client. This person changes their diet, they stop drinking dairy lattes, their skin clears up. This person needs peanut butter, their skin's super inflamed. It's a one size fits one approach. So the myth that I would like to correct is that it's a one size fits all approach. It's not. Aesthetics is. It should be catered to the client, their life stage, what's going on. Are they on any medications? It needs to be one size fits one. So that's my beauty myth I'd like to correct.
I like
As
that.
far
One
as
size fits one. You all got that?
one size
type
fits
yes in the
one.
chat if you get that. One size fits one. I love it.
One size fits one. As far as the my favorite success advice for professionals is learning never ends.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to educate yourself until the day that you retire or you no longer want to be doing what you're doing today. There is, there's so much knowledge and information, and we have so much access, and there's so much, it's just happening at record speed. The way that you stay competitive in this industry is by continuing to educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Learning never ends. You're never going to be done. The day that you say, I know everything, then you should just shut the door and go home.
Yes, I agree. 100%. 100%.
Learning never ends.
Aisha, what is an acne myth that you want to correct? And then what is your favorite success advice for professionals?
An acne myth that I would like to correct is sometimes it's genetics. Sometimes you got to dive a little bit deeper than just the surface of the skincare. Sometimes you have to correct your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to leave that McDonald's alone. Sometimes you have to, yes. Sometimes you have to go to the doctor and get that blood work.
Mm-hmm.
Get the blood work done. It's okay. So if your acne is not clearing up according to, sometimes there's been clients that I had no choice but to, I had to refer them. It's okay to refer your clients out to a dermatologist, because at times that's what they need, is to get that blood work done, get to the meat and potatoes and the root cause of why they're breaking out. It could be genetics, it could be hormonal, it could be a little bit deeper. So it's okay to, source your clients out.
Find a professional that you can refer to. Referral partnerships they're very, very important to cultivate.
Absolutely. That's super important. And the second question was
favorite success advice for professionals.
Favorite success advice. Oh, there's so many of them.
You only get to pick one this time.
I only get to pick one. Favorite success advice is stay committed to who you are.
Oh, I like that.
Never compare yourself. No matter what. Someone may appear to be more successful than you or more knowledgeable than you, and that's okay, because you are going to attract what is meant for you. Just be yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself and have fun.
Agreed.
Yeah, just be yourself. Just be yourself and give out what you got according to who you are, and never compare yourself.
Oh yeah, that can be very devastating, and it can stop you from growth. It can stop growth from happening so quickly. Does anyone have any questions for our two acne judges, David and Aisha? You can unmute yourself and ask, or type them in the chat, or you can reach out to, if you two will type your socials into the chat for them. David, you can be found at, if it pops up, it'll pop up. You'd think if I were a good director of judges, I would have those at the ready. Okay. Aisha's at Sparkle and Shine, her Instagram. And then David is at wishskinhealth.com, support at wishskinhealth.com, and Wish Skin Health on both Insta and Facebook or email. And then we do have a question. What was your most complicated acne case and how did it get resolved?
Is that for me or for both?
For both.
Okay,
Go ahead, Aisha. Go.
Okay, thanks, David. Thank you so much. So I have a severe skin transformation. And
Yeah, I had a waffle today.
it was so challenging to the point to where our last visit, we cried together. We like literally bawled together because I showed her before and after, because I always document. I always take pictures, when they first come to me, in progress. You have to take those progress reports and you have to take those SOAP notes. You have to document everything with your clients. This particular client, acne was so severe that she contemplated suicide.
Oh, yeah.
That's how bad it was. And what helped was I had her go to her doctor, going back to what we were discussing before, and she got blood work done. She had food allergies. She was eating all the things that she wasn't supposed to. So she switched up her diet. Home care was very, very important. Home care was very important. What we did is we went ahead and just secured her barrier. You have to put the fire out. Even with the inflamed acne, you can't put your clients on anything aggressive. You have to put the fire out first before you start to work, before you go to work. So we started working on her barrier. And then after that, she stayed consistent. She started to see the results and she stayed consistent with her home care and her treatments. And with her treatments, we did a lot of LED light therapy. We did, we didn't do too many aggressive, because sometimes less is more. You don't have to go in with your acne clients. You don't have to go in and do all these aggressive treatments with them. And like David mentioned before, each case is different. Everyone's skin is different. So you have to treat it according to each case. And her particular case is calming. We had to calm and secure the barrier. And once we calmed and secure that barrier, and she switched up her diet from her doctor's recommendations of her food allergies, her skin is amazing. And if you go on my Instagram, you can see some of my skin transformations.
Nice.
Yes.
Perfect. David, what about you?
I love that. So I get to sit in the 30,000-foot view and like have the cases come from all over the country in the US. I will in Canada, the UK. One of the cases that I think is very unique and interesting with the one size fits one approach, we had a client, she was actually fresh. She just graduated from the course. She had never treated acne before, and she was horrified. She had a 16-year-old client. She has epilepsy, and one of the side effects for her medication is acne. Obviously, you're not removing somebody that has epilepsy from their medication, so we have to deal with it. The thing about acne is there's a lot, it can get very complex, but the methodology to actually getting somebody, I call it crossing the clearing bridge, is very similar. So we just literally used the entry level home care. She came in for treatments every 3 weeks, got her face, she was 16 then, she's 18 now, got her face very, very clear. She's healthy and she knows how to maintain her skin at home, knowing that this is going to be a lifelong situation for her because of her medical condition. So this is obviously working with the doctor. She had what we would consider severe in dermatology grade 4 acne, which traditionally a normal esthetician would be like, I can't treat this. And I'm like, she texted me or called me before every single treatment to show me her progress to make sure she was clearing appropriately. And not until the very end we adjusted her BPO sulfur percentage, but her skin looks amazing. And again, that's something that's not taught in aesthetics. So if you're not going to a place where you can actually learn that, looking at a medication, understanding, okay, this is a side effect, how am I going to work with this? That was a challenge, but I'm glad to say that we got it over the finish line.
That's one heck of a challenge for a very first person who just finishes your course.
It was her first acne case.
And then you're dealing with a 16-year-old child on top of that. Oh my gosh. Well,
She's in college now, and she when she comes home, she's actually in Texas. She goes and she gets her treatments. She's maintained with her home care. She does everything that her esthetician Maria tells her to do, and she just got fabulous results. Like, she's entering young adulthood without that being an issue. I mean, there's enough other issues with having that medical condition anyway, but that acne doesn't have to be one of them.
oh, I love it. I love it. Well, I want to thank you too for your time. Your one of your fellow judges, Trini, just joined us, but I will have her talk with, I think that Jordan is here. So Trini and Jordan can do the second half. So we'll have a split age and acne. We'll just do it. We'll roll with it, right? Because it's what we do. Thank you so much for your time. You are obviously welcome. We would love to have you stay and listen to our other judges. And I look forward to working with you. Those case studies are just right around the bend. They're due in 15 days. You will be having them in probably around 20.
Oh, wow.
I got my time allocated. I'm ready.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And David, I'm so excited to meet you in person.
Looking forward to it, you guys. Reach out if you have any questions. I actually do need to jump off since I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning today.
Yeah,
But I
get
look
some
forward to
rest.
seeing everybody in person. Thanks for taking the time to connect.
Goodbye. Thank you, David.
All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring forward. I have Jordan. Jordan is here. I'm going to spotlight Jordan, and we're going to spotlight Trini. Trini was working in the trenches, which is what we all tend to do. Where are you? Are you there? Trini, do you have video? Ask to start video. Well, Jordan is one of my, how many years have we been working together now? 4?
I've been a judge for 4 years now.
Yes, we've been working together for 4 years. And this year I threw her. You've been all over the place and it hasn't even started yet. But she is going to be our lead age management judge this year. So she's going to help coordinate that category with me, and she's going to be scoring some of those case studies and your age management this year. So I would like for you to please introduce yourself, your name, your business name, where you're from, why you chose to become a beauty professional or what brought you to our industry, and your primary specialty and professional focus.
Awesome. Well, hello everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. This headset is a little ancient. But I'm very excited to be here judging for my 4th year, 5th year actually attending the Skin Games. I'm a licensed esthetician, a cosmetologist, and a Reiki master. I've owned my own holistic skincare studio for just about 9 years now. It's called Jordan Warren Aesthetics. I'm passionate about so many different things in the skincare industry. It's hard to kind of narrow it down, but I love everything about the holistic side of skincare. I love helping my clients kind of connect the dots between what's going on with their skin and what's going on with their nervous system. I feel like those two things really interconnect. So recently that's been my big thing that I've been very, very passionate about, just based on some things I've been going through myself throughout the year. Um, what else? I specialize in acne, oncology, skincare, and compromised skin, and anti-aging. Microcurrents is literally my favorite treatment ever. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to another year at the Skin Games, and I'm even more excited that we're going to Texas.
Where are you located?
I'm in Norwell, Massachusetts, so it's probably about a half hour from Boston, south
Nice,
of Boston.
nice. Okay, perfect. Trini, are you able to unmute yourself? Are you here? Where are you?
Yes. Hi.
Okay, let me pull you forward. I'm sorry, I have to find you
Okay,
again. My
you're
mouse,
fine.
my mouse went kind of crazy. Where did you go? There you are. Okay, let me pull you forward. Sorry. Add
Okay.
spotlight. There you are.
Mhm.
Trini
Hi,
is
guys.
she is former player. I do know that. I'll let you kind of weave that into your introduction. But she came on board as a judge this year, and she's doing acne. So I'm very excited for that. I said a little bit earlier that we have returning judges is about 50% returning judges and 50% new judges. A lot of them former players, which is really exciting. Most of the newer judges that we have been attending or watching the Skin Games for a very long time. So I really feel honored that you all have decided to join us. So Trini, your name, your business name, where you're located, what brought you to the industry, and your focus and specialty.
Awesome. First of all, thank you guys. I'm so sorry that I was late. I had a client and she ran late, and we all know as estheticians puts us all behind. So I was trying to rush and anyway, so I apologize for being late, and I'm really excited to be here. My name is Trini Lefevre. I've been an esthetician for about 10 years. I'm located in Lakewood, which is right outside of Denver, Colorado. I specialize in kind of a little bit of everything. My practice is called TL Aesthetics, which is just my initials in aesthetics. I also created the Lafee box, which stands for Licensed Estheticians. For estheticians, it's a professional subscription box. So it's quarterly, it comes every month. That's been kind of my latest and most fun project, aside from being in the treatment room. In the treatment room, I specialize in, I kind of do a lot of every service that kind of happens, I guess, when you've been an esthetician for so long, you pick up a zillion services that you can offer. But my favorite things to do are facials. I've done acne with so many clients, and it's one of the most satisfying services that I think we offer as estheticians because you get to change someone's life. And that's really exciting to me. I'm really excited to be a judge in Skin Games this year because I think I've been on the other side of it. And so it'll be really fun to be a part of this like back end side of the Skin Games. And when I played, I did age management. I did a new esthetician when I was a new esthetician. And I believe I did holistic last year as well. So I've kind of done a little bit of everything. I also did lash competition and brow competition last year, which was really fun. And I'm trying to think if I left anything out. I feel like those are the big parts. I have my little notes here on the side. Um, yeah, I kind of think that's it. Uh, I just hope that I can contribute with just the knowledge that I have from past um, experience as a player, and then also just experience in general as an esthetician.
Yes, being in the treatment room gives you a whole different perspective about what it is we actually do in the beauty industry. When David and I were talking a little bit earlier about how you spend all day in the treatment room with clients, you talk all day long, but it can be very lonely because you're not going to share
Yeah,
what's going on in your business with your clients. They don't need to know, the toilet overflowed or this happened, or your vendor just mysteriously closed up shop and you have no idea where you're going to get your next, product from. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's such a fulfilling industry, and there's so many of us, but so
Mhm,
many of us are solo. And
mhm,
so you're right. Like it's such a there's a lonely aspect to our industry where we don't always have community, share day-to-day things or even the funny things, good things, the weird things.
mhm.
So it's really nice to be a part of the Skin Games because I think it provides a little bit of a sense of that, being able to kind of share your experiences with other people who understand it, like running late and
Oh
everyone
yeah.
knows
Oh
that
yeah. We were all
feeling,
like that.
so it's like it's just a really nice place to kind of like build community.
It is. That is one of the things I did not expect and received in spades was the community part. And there's a couple of estheticians that I met as a competitor. We were all competing and we have a group text and I sent a last month I sent a picture of my client who had opened her eyes while I was putting her hard wax on to do her brows. And her eyelash hit the wax right at perfect timing. And I just said, close your eyes. And she went to grab the wax. And I said, don't do that. Just but we had to work it out. No one else other than an esthetician is going to understand the sheer amount of panic that ran through my body the second she opened her eyes. So she got a demerit that day. She came in today and I said, now
Yes.
keep your eyes closed, keep your eyes closed. And she said, yes. She goes, I'm so sorry. But no one else understands that. You can't go home and tell your spouse that because they're going to be like, so you got it out, didn't you? But we all
Yeah, but
understand that.
a whole
And
different layer of stress with that for
whole
sure.
yes. And you're the little things that happen, the victories that happen, who are we going to share those with? We have to share them with each other as professionals. And that is why the Skin Games exists, just to help estheticians build each other up, lift each other up. So we want to talk a little bit about how your expertise applies to your category. Jordan, yours is going to be aging, and Trini, you can speak to both aging and acne. You're judging acne, but you've done both. You work with age management. And I'm with you, Jordan. Microcurrent is my jam. I
It's amazing.
love microcurrent. Personally, I am unable to do any neuromodulators. I cannot do Botox. I can't do Dysport. I had a very, very, very bad, very rare, apparently, reaction to it. So microcurrent has been my saving grace as I am on the other side of 55 now. So why are you passionate about age management and how does your background inform your approach to age management for your clients?
Sure. Um, I feel like I'm a lot more passionate about anti-aging now, being in my mid-30s, than I was, say, 10 years ago. I was more focused on acne and stuff like that. And now I've been starting about 2 years now, I've started doing microcurrent on myself. And I'm getting the results that my clients have gotten for years. And microcurrent is actually, aside from like a basic facial, microcurrent was the first modality I ever learned. So I've been doing it for about 13 years now. I feel like I could do the treatment with my eyes closed. I can hear
Mhm.
the little beep in the machine. Um, but I feel like um, I just, I feel like I know the skin now. I can look at somebody's skin and know what they need. I know how microcurrent is going to work in the skin. And I feel like just having those years of experience is kind of what brought me to where I am now and why I am so passionate about the anti-aging aspect of skincare.
Mhm.
Hopefully that makes sense.
It does. Curious, do you use LED in your practice at all?
I do.
Yes. Combining those two, it's like, mwah, it's just like
Amazing.
chef's kiss. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Trini, your expertise, how does it apply to acne and or aging? And how does your background inform your approach for these clients that you treat in your room?
I think acne is such a fun and also can be frustrating condition for us as estheticians to treat because honestly, what I've found over the years is there's not really a one type approach, because acne can be so many different types of conditions going on. It can be acne rosacea. It can be fungal. It can also be a barrier issue, or sometimes always is a barrier issue, and we have to correct that first and then go after the other problems associated to it. And I think just being able to say I've treated so many different types of acne, it gives me a little bit of experience. And I also think it's really fun to see how other people in this category are going to treat acne. But it's really just acne isn't like, I hate to really categorize acne sometimes as just acne by itself when there's so many different things associated to it and so many different ways to treat it, because sometimes people will react really well to benzoyl peroxide and sometimes they won't. Um, so it kind of there's just so many different like approaches that we can do, and different things will work for different people. LED will work for some and won't work for others, and that's kind of what makes acne fun to me, is like you have to really figure out what's going on with your client, because it could be diet, it could be, are you changing your pillowcase? Like acne is so difficult versus, like, to me, age management, like we know why aging is happening because we're human and it's a cause, and we might have like glycation happening in the skin and different things like that, where acne is like kind of a mystery. We really have to spend a lot of time in our consultation getting to know our client, finding out their triggers and what's causing it. So it's a fun category. And I think there's so many creative approaches that we can do as estheticians. So I think being able to have some of that in my background and then just see new things is going to be really helpful in playing a part in judging in the category.
It is your thoughts, Emmett, basically emulate what David was saying, where it's one size fits one. It's so individualized. Acne it's challenging, not just from the physical aspect for your client, it's mentally draining on them, and you have to help build up that mental resilience for your client because they're suffering. And then you have to figure out what in the world's creating and causing the acne to begin with. I find as my practice has aged with me, I cannot believe that I've entered my 26th year and my practice is aging with me. So what started as hormonal acne from mid 30s on up, when you end up having hormonal changes, that's when a lot of women start perimenopause and things go nuts, and you're managing that part of it, the acne, and then you're trying to manage their aging on top of what they're doing outside of what's going on in your treatment room can keep you on your toes as well. Especially for aging, when they're trying this thing and that thing and that thing and this thing, and then they come in and they get on your table for their microcurrent, but they had Botox 2 days before. It doesn't work. So there's a lot of education that has to go on for both types of skin treatments and concerns. Jordan, when you found out about the skin games, I think you're a Holly referral, right? Holly brought you in.
Yep.
What drew you to the skin games, and what does being part of the judging team mean to you?
The community aspect is definitely what drew me to the skin games. So the first skin games I attended was in Vegas. I think that might have been 2018.
Yeah, that was pre me.
You
So
had Elvis.
yeah, that was before me.
So
Yeah.
just like experiencing that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is like the coolest thing I've ever been to. And I never expected to, be a judge or anything like that. And then a couple of years later, Holly was like, hey, I think we should talk to Kelly. And she was looking for some judges and she connected us. And that was how I got into it. And I'm sorry, what was the second half of
Serving
that?
as a judge, what does being part of the judging team mean to you?
It means a lot. It's a huge honor, and I've met a lot of friends through doing this for the last 4 years that I've kept in touch with after the Skin Games, players and judges. And I personally learn so much from the players every year that just that aspect alone is so amazing and so worth it to me to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. It is. That's, I think once you participate in the skin games, you're either addicted and a lifelong fan, or you're like, that was just too much and I can't do it. And
I'm
it's,
addicted and a lifelong fan.
yeah. Yes. Yeah. You make friends there, because everyone that is at the skin games is there to support you as a professional. We all are. Everyone is. The networking that goes on, all of the community, the building, and then you get to see how people build a protocol and how they build an entire case study, and you get to apply your expertise to their work. And I think one of the most humbling parts of this as a judge is knowing that someone is coming to you and asking you to evaluate their work. And that puts them in a very vulnerable position, and shows you a couple of things. They're open to growth, and that they're serious about what they're doing, and as far as being a professional in our industry. So I know that I said this at the very beginning, that I jokingly say I judge the judges. I don't judge anybody. I just help coordinate, and it's very humbling to see the work that you all do, as far as taking your time to evaluate what these players have submitted, applying your expertise to it, and helping them become better industry professionals and eventually leaders as well. So it's huge. And Trini, since you started as a player, what initially drew you to the skin games? And then now as a judge, what does being part of the judging panel mean to you?
When I first competed in the skin games, I actually had went to a skin script retreat, and I remember I was sitting at like a table of different estheticians and we were chatting, and I was showing the esthetician gals I was with some different clients that I had been working on in terms of like clearing up acne, age management, different things like that. And one of the gals was like, "You should try the skin games." And she told me what it was, and she's like, "Yeah, you look it up. You'll probably really love it." And it sounded like it was something like I remember Googling it that night in my hotel room when I was in Arizona, and I was like, "Oh my God, this sounds amazing." Because I think as an esthetician, like you said, it's lonely. So like a lot of times we do stuff and we are just like excited to show other people. Sometimes it's just like about getting feedback. And so when I first came to the skin games, I think it was a lot of that for me. It was like, first of all, community aspect, because like I love being with other estheticians. I think that's how we grow as estheticians, is learning from each other. Second, I was really excited to get feedback on what I was doing. Because sometimes you're just like, God, I don't know. I feel like it's good, but like it would really be cool to have it all written out and someone like kind of look through things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think I was really ready for like criticism, like constructive criticism for sure. And I just really loved the idea that you get to put your skills out there and see like how they're doing in the world of aesthetics. And that really drew me to Skin Games. And then, of course, it's just been really fun to watch Skin Games grow and add categories and all the fun things. Um, and I don't know if I know I know I went to Vegas, and I don't know if I participated in the year prior to that, because were they
I think
usually in Vegas or something?
they did one in Vegas, they did one in the Bay Area, I believe. We're doing our 10th year, and the last three were in Atlanta, and then it was Palm Springs, Jacksonville, three in Atlanta, and then this one in Dallas. That's as long as I've been.
Okay.
I think the year prior to that was Vegas.
Yeah, I think I did. I think my first time was Vegas for pretty positive that's when I went. And then what was the second question? I'm so sorry. I started rambling on the first one.
It was, what does being part of the judging team mean to you?
Oh, I think it's special because it selfishly it gives me this like excitement that I get to learn from other estheticians, like, ooh, what's out there, what's going on, what's new. And that is always like really invigorating to me. I love learning kind of what's going on in our industry and seeing how people do and implement different strategies in their treatment room. So that's really exciting to me. It's also a really wonderful feeling to be able to give back to the aesthetics community in this way because I feel like every time I've left, like when you're a player and you're going into those rooms, you're like shaking, it's so scary. You're like, oh my God, what's it going to be like in there? What are they going to ask me? And everyone's freaking out. And I think it's just going to be really cool to be a part of that, like, because once you get in, like the judges are so calming and like reassuring, and you're like, okay, like that wasn't as scary as I thought. So I think being able to contribute feedback and give a different, like maybe aspect or perspective is the right word. Sorry. To players will be really fulfilling. I think getting to know other estheticians that are new to the games and things are it's really like appealing to me in that aspect as well. So I feel like there's a lot of special things about being a judge. Of course, you get to contribute to the games, but I think it's also really contributing to our industry. And like, sharing our stored knowledge that we've gained throughout the years.
Agreed. I think Jordan is the same. You always provide really great feedback for the players, and I think the fairness, the insight, education, encouragement, all the things that we all want to give to other people in our industry. We have to build our future leaders in our industry, and that's what being a judge empowers you to be able to do. What do you hope to learn from this event, Jordan? And this is year 4 for you. So what, going into year 5 and this is our 10th year total. So what do you want to learn this year from this year's event?
I can't think of anything specific that I want to learn, but I learned something new in regards to like whether it's a treatment modality or like an add-on or something like that every year that I then take back into my own practice. Like last year, one of the players mentioned doing air seeding on her client, and I'd never heard of that before. And I went back to my room that night and looked into it and ordered some and ended up bringing that into my practice, and my clients loved it. So stuff like that, I love learning new stuff like that that I haven't heard of before at the Skin Games.
I think that we get a lot more exposure to that because it is solely focused on what we do inside our treatment room, whether it's sugaring or waxing or lash and brow lift. And I know this year we have with PMU, we have areola and scar revision, which I think if all of you we'll have our PMU judges on talking about that in a couple of weeks, but I think that's something that all of us need to be able to at least speak to our clients about, because so many people come in, women with breast cancer, mastectomies, and we need to be able to refer them to professionals who can help them, bring back what they may end up losing, or even scar revision. That to me sounds fascinating. No desire to learn how to do it at this stage and age in my career, but I want to know about it because it is a little baby puppy. I love it. I want to be able to speak intelligently to my clients about it. And you can get that firsthand knowledge from the experts who are working every single day in their treatment room at the Skin Games. So it sounds like we're shilling for the Skin Games, but I think we're all hardcore fans, so it's okay.
Yeah,
What industry trends, Trini, are you paying attention to, whether it's ingredients, modalities, shifts in client needs and expectations, that's something that if either of you are open to talking about as far as industry trends and the client needs and their expectations, how they shift with the industry trends, I'd be interested in hearing your perspective on that. Trini?
Awesome. So in terms of industry trends in general that I'm paying attention to, and also sorry, my little Velcro dog is just scratching at the chair, scratching at the back of the chair.
It's fine.
She
We
can't
all love the
stand.
puppies.
She cannot stand to be away for 2 seconds. Um, I think for me personally, because I'm doing the Lafi box, it's so heavily like, I'm trying to keep it current and what's going on in the industry. There's a little bit of everything that I look into. A lot of it, luckily for me, is like I'm looking at acne products right now for the acne box that's coming out later in the year, and seeing what new products are out there. I know we have a lot of face reality kind of like always up in the forefront, which I love face reality, but like it's really exciting to learn about other like kind of the underdogs of like acne care, you know? And so I'm always looking for like the like newer, like smaller lines that are coming out that have really great acne programs. I think that that's really fun and exciting to be able to share. So that's one thing. And then in terms of like how you were talking about like client shifts and um,
Their
like,
expectations, like I find that clients will come in and they come in asking about one thing,
oh,
expecting a result, and it can become challenging trying to
accommodate
them and make their expectations realistic.
I feel like this kind of happened, maybe not with skincare, recently with a client that had come in, but for lash lifts, because she was like, "Oh my God, have you seen the Korean lash lifts going on?" And first of all, lash lifts, I feel like can be very tricky sometimes because if you're not super confident in them, they can be intimidating. And I think it's very much like making sure as an esthetician we sit in the seat of the professional, like managing expectations. This is what can happen, this is what can affect things, this is what happens if we don't get the result that we're looking to achieve the first time. We can, educate how do you move forward. In skincare, I think it's so important to educate, like when somebody comes in like, oh, I saw, X, Y, and Z on Instagram. um I feel like it's really important to say like those results are the end result. Like you have to remember that there's this middle process that truly occurs, and there's so many things, and your home care is really important. So if it's like I always feel like the client who comes in with these crazy expectations is the client who's like, I use like a bar of soap in the shower and my lotion on my face, but they want these like really um outstanding results. So I feel like we always just have to sit in the seat of the professional, educate, educate, educate. We are trusted in that position and we know a lot more than I think we give ourselves credit for as estheticians. So we just have to be confident in communicating really our process and the process that we need our clients to do. I don't know if that went astray or if that's answering what
No,
you're
no, you're right.
asking.
You're right. It's managing
Okay.
the expectations and taking the client on the journey, I think is important. Jordan, what about
Yeah.
you? What industry trends are you paying attention to? And how do you manage your clients' expectations of these trends as they shift? It feels like to me that everything is instant. Everybody wants an instant result with an instant satisfaction with minimal to no effort. And it doesn't work that way with the skin at all.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that, and I see that as well. And I hope this isn't a trend, but one of the shifts I'm seeing is a lot of my clients are um, being more open to more holistic treatments for skincare.
Mhm.
A lot of my clients recently have decided that they're going to stop doing Botox and fillers, and I thought that was great. I mean, absolutely no judgment to those who do it, but if that's a choice that you want to make to try the holistic route. I think that's pretty cool, especially because that's where my passion in skincare lies. But clients are open to Reiki now, and they're letting me do my face massage with crystals. And I feel like a few years ago, a lot of my clients were not open to any of that. They thought it was a little woo-woo, and now it seems like, there's a big shift happening where people are open to that and liking that now.
Yes, it is becoming much more mainstream. I think that is one of the good things that happens with social media is clients get exposure to a whole lot of anything at their fingertips and their little itty bitty, oh, that's my husband, little itty bitty phone,
Yeah.
So then Jordan, if you'll help me round this out, and then Trini will get your last words. What beauty myth or trend do you want to, more of a beauty myth, would you like to correct, especially with age management, because that's the category you're judging? And then your favorite success advice for professionals, Jordan.
I think when it comes to the anti-aging category, clients thinking that more aggressive treatments and more aggressive products are, the way to go. When I think the biggest thing you can do for aging skin is to support your barrier and make sure you're hydrated first and foremost before anything else. And can you repeat the second part of the question?
Favorite success advice for professionals.
Favorite success advice. What David was saying earlier, I think continuing or never stopping your education is definitely like the number one. I had another one in the back of my head that I'm forgetting now. But the learning aspect, that's like number one. Oh, and then setting boundaries with your clients, I feel like is really big, especially, well, even if you're not a solo esthetician, but just because I'm a solo esthetician, I can relate to that a little bit more. But just from the very beginning, when you first see a client, just set boundaries and expectations from the very first appointment. So like down the line, there's no confusion or anything like that.
Yep.
Which has been difficult for me too, but I'm taking my own advice now.
I think it's hard because we're giving. You have to be a people person in this industry. You have to basically have a servant's heart. That doesn't mean that we get to have all of our boundaries be walked all over and oh yeah, sure, I'll come in on my day off, or yeah, you call me every time 5 minutes before you're supposed to be here and tell me you're not coming, or you're going to be 5 minutes late, or you're going to be 20 minutes late. And then it makes it challenging for you to run your business, stay fresh, and stay prepared for the rest of your day or the rest of your week or whatever. So yeah, I like that. Boundaries is probably something we could do a whole discussion on.
Definitely.
Trini, what is a beauty myth that you would love to see be corrected, and what is your favorite success advice for professionals?
I definitely, I can talk, sorry. Definitely agree with Jordan. I think the being more aggressive is more effective. Because I feel like even your clients get that translation like, oh, I don't feel this crazy burn with the chemical pill. Is it working? And you're like, yes, it's working. It doesn't have to be singeing off your face to like have an effect. So I think that for sure. Also, I want to pair that with exfoliation because I feel like clients want to exfoliate the life out of their skin at home, and that's like one of the main myths I feel like I'm constantly trying to correct in my treatment room is like, we don't have to exfoliate every single day. Like it's not necessary. We have to hydrate the barrier. So I feel like that's something that I wish would be not so much a conversation, but I feel like will always keep us in business and is a constant conversation that we'll always have. So, and then
your favorite success advice.
Yes. I can't remember the exact quote, so I'm not gonna say it. But it's like all rising, maybe it's all rising tides lift the boats. Millicent Russo said that she's from EP Micropen. And I just love that because she's basically saying like as estheticians, when we empower each other, we uplift our industry. And so I think that's really special. And that's kind of like one of the reasons I started the Lafee box is because I'm like, if we could just share information, not gatekeep, and really give each other the chance to talk. Like we learn so much from each other because, like you said, I'm going to just keep re-saying this, is we don't have that every day. We don't get to talk about our triumphs and whatnot and what we even learned, like it's not going to be like, oh my God, today this is what happened. And I think when we're able to sit down and share that, we really change each other's approaches in the treatment room and really how we think and what our esthetician toolbox looks like. So I think that's the best success story to me, is just our success advice is, don't be afraid to share your information. Your clients are going to come to you no matter what because
Right.
you. No one's going to steal your clients if you share what made you successful with a client. So I think it's important for us to remember, like, we're in it together. Our industry is there's enough for everybody. And that's probably one of the most special parts of our industry, is that there's enough for everyone.
There is. I agree with you 100%. I look at my fellow estheticians as my colleagues, not my competition. And I think that's the type of professional that this particular event will attracts. People who are serious, people who want to get better, and people who want to grow. And you have the opportunity to do that at this live event. Does anybody have any questions for Jordan or Trini? Would you two mind dropping your social media handles in the chat so they know how to get in touch with you? Their profiles are on the Skin Games website under the judges profile page as well, and links to their social media are there if you want to check them out there. They will talk to you about anything except the scoring process. That's off limits. So Jordan is at Jordan Warren Skin, and Trini is at, is it left? How do you pronounce it? Left box?
Lafee, it's Lafee, but honestly, I always tell people
Lafee
it doesn't
box.
matter how you say it. As long as you know that it stands for licensed estheticians for estheticians, it doesn't matter how you say it.
That's
Or
really cool. I love that.
she is at Trini Lefevre. So
Awesome. Thanks, guys. It was so good to chat and discuss fun things. Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you. Good to see you.
it was.
You too.
All right. Well, we will let you all get back to your evening. Thank you so much. And we will see you next Monday.
Awesome.
All right.
See you
Thank
then.
you.
Bye.